Hello, y'all. My name is Barbara, and I am back with another message. Today, I'm going to share a testimony with you about how um, I was enjoying a nice little trip, and then I got spiritually attacked pretty hard. I just want to go into some details about the attack and what happened, and how I threw a spiritual curveball at Lucifer and his little minions, and I pretty much bamboozled him. But anyway, you know how people will tell you like something will happen in the spiritual or the physical to warn you about what's going to happen in the spiritual or the physical. Like I've heard people say, it shows up in the spiritual before the physical, and I've heard people say it shows up in the physical before the spiritual. But anyway, they're around the same timing. You know what I'm saying? Like God can use either to warn you about either. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, physically, I'm not going to tell you every single little thing because a lot of testimonies, when you tell them from your own point of view, certain people who have the eyes and the ears to hear, they understand right away what you're saying. Whereas other people, they may hear it and be like, she's losing her mind. And so I'm not going to tell you all the details, but I'm just say this. Spiritually, Lucifer was trying to blind me, but he tried to make it seem like it was physically going to happen to me. And he tried to scare me. And I was scared. I was very fearful. And I heard God's voice, and I heard his voice, and I heard my own voice. And so you have to kind of like sit as a standby, like a bystander, and go through all the thoughts and then decipher which ones are the devil lying. You know what I'm saying? So just be on standby, feel, and go through and decipher and process all the thoughts. Just be kind of like in the background watching all the thoughts flow through, because a lot of the times Lucifer shows up in our thoughts. Okay. And this was the last day of my vacation. It was like a vacation trip to Las Vegas, like a graduation gift to me for graduating from college. And I was going there to relax and have fun. And that's what makes me look back on this thing like, yo, this guy is freaking bold. Like, he's crazy. And I'm talking about Lucifer. The devil, he's very, very funny in how he does things. Like, he's not funny at all. He's stupid. But anyway, while I was in the midst of being in that state of extreme fear, y'all, I thought I was physically going blind. I thought I was losing my eyesight. Okay? And it is the scariest thing. It is the scariest feeling. It's like you're saying, oh no, oh no, oh no, 100 times in your head. Like, oh no, oh Lord, what is this? What's going on? Am I like, man, it was a scary experience, yo. And it happened the last day of my vacation. Of all days, it could have been while I was at home. It could have been anywhere. But why did it happen while I was on vacation? It's because this guy, he comes to lie, kill, and destroy. He tried to destroy my time. He tried to make me like not enjoy my trip, basically. And this was the last day. So the last day is supposed to be like really when you're enjoying your time on your trip, right? But no, I was literally in a state of fear for half of that day. And it wasn't until, that's why I made the video the day before yesterday about having a prayer family, because it wasn't until I contacted my prayer person and she prayed over me, and that was like the only thing that calmed my spirit down. I stayed in that room praying, going crazy, rocking back and forth, losing my mind, thinking I was going blind. Okay. In the hotel room, and I was alone, and I was afraid, and I was scared, and it was just, I didn't call anyone. I didn't want to talk to no one. I just want to go through it on my own and just be with God. And even in the presence of, trying to pray to God and stuff like that, like I still was afraid. Like I could hear God saying, you're fine. But then I could hear the devil saying, nah, this is real. This is happening to you. And then I really couldn't tell, like, when you're in a state of confusion, you really can't tell who's who. Like you be so afraid. And so like in the moment you're not really calm. So you're not really thinking straight. And so I really wasn't. And so I was just panicking. And basically what happens in the physical is being expressed in the spiritual. And so basically he was trying to scare me into think I was going blind, but really spiritually he was trying to blind me, because I was on track, I was on my path, I was doing something that God had asked me to do, and it was like something that was very hard for me to do, and I was doing it, and God was proud of me, and Lucifer knew that. And so he just came in and tried to like ruin everything to make me so stressed out, and probably like to make me not finish whatever I had put my mind to finish for God. He was trying to like distract me. Okay, I did a video yesterday about distractions. And all this stuff is around, all these realizations are coming around the same time. So this that happened was really just a big distraction, because I am not going blind. I was not going blind at all. When I called my prayer person, she brought me back down to earth, because I was up there in the clouds. I was freaking scared. Okay, I was not on earth. I was like unearthed. Okay, I needed to get grounded again, and she brought me back down to reality. When I called her, she's like, calm down. I guarantee, she prayed over me so beautifully. And then she said, I promise you, when you go back home and you go to see the eye doctor, you're going to get a perfect report. You're going to be good. You just need to calm down. You are not, she was like, the Holy Spirit is revealing to me right now, you are not losing your eyesight. You have too much work to do. You're not losing your eyesight. But it was like all that week and the week before, it was like maybe blind, the idea, the theme of a person being blind had always been around me, but I just never really paid attention to it, because it never really had anything to do with me. But the moment that even before I felt like it was happening to me, it was like all these things kept coming up about that theme of someone being blind or going blind. Like it was like I kept seeing TV shows, I keep hearing stuff on the radio. It's like everywhere I was going, I just kept running into anything that had to do with the theme of going blind. And I was like, why is this being so highlighted right now these past couple weeks? Like, what is this about? And then I tried to like go on YouTube and Google and self-diagnose what was going on in my eyes, and that made it even worse. Like, oh Lord, it was so scary. Oh my gosh, when I think about that level of fear that I had, and like hearing God's voice trying to calm me down, and hearing Lucifer and just trying to decipher, it was just such a confusing point. And I was just like, what is this? And the crazy thing is, like, all these different things, all these different rules, like you've been through certain things. I've been through certain things where like I know that when I'm feeling like I'm in a state of confusion, I need to just chill and stop and just wait and pray. And like there's certain things that I know I need to do. But when you're in the midst of losing your mind, thinking that you're losing your eyesight, it's like nothing else matters. Nothing that anyone says matters. But when I called this prayer person and she prayed over me, she like brought me back into reality. She calmed my spirit down. And then it was like I was able to be that bystander again, watching my thoughts. And then when I was able to stand to the back and watch the thoughts flowing, that's when I realized this Marisaka, Lucifer, this Marisaka. Now I could just look back at it and laugh, because I'm like, yo, that was the biggest distraction ever. Like, I'm supposed to be enjoying my trip. I'm doing what God asked me to do. I was like on a natural high. Like I was just in a good place with God. Right. And, I am not spiritually blinded at all. I was given a new set of eyes from God. That's why I was telling y'all yesterday, like I can see things now for what it really is. And sometimes it's kind of depressing. It's kind of sad, because it's like, what is this place? Like, what is really going on here? Like, what, like, just pretend that the physical body isn't there and it's just your being. And like that feeling that you feel like when you're just waking up or when you're going to sleep, like that dreamy state, like half sleep, half awake, like not being cognizant of the physical. That state of mind is just kind of like where you're like, what is my soul? What is my spirit? What am I doing here? That feeling is like I was given a new set of eyes for that. So what I used to be able to see, it was like stuff was going over my head. I was spiritually blinded for real, like I was. But now it's like I'm spiritually awakened, and I've been had awakening. I had awakening when I was 19 years old. And so I was like called crazy, and my dad used to call me the great debater, cuz like I was on my I was just very, very intelligent at a young age. My dad put me on game like at a young age. So I kind of been I had a second awakening, and that was the awakening that, like, the first awakening was when I was like woke conscious, and I was like learning certain things about our history. And then the second awakening was when Jesus told me that I was his, and I realized who I really was and what my purpose was on this earth. So and that's the real awakening. Okay. But anyway, I was given this new set of eyes. So actually I was actually given like a new set of eyes, and it's crazy because when I went to the eye doctor to get my eyes checked, my eyesight had actually gotten better. It didn't decline, it didn't get worse, it actually had gotten better. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, I could actually see clearer now, like. So the fact that this guy was trying to scare me, and that I was that scared, and it reminds me of that part in the Bible where something was going on, and Jesus was like, man, y'all got little faith, y'all don't believe. Like, he was asking them to do something, to walk across something or do something. I forgot what Jesus was asking them to do. I think he was asking them to do something. It had to do with the water or ocean or something, and they got scared and fell or something like that. I don't know if they're supposed to walk across some water. I don't know what Jesus was asking them to do, but I remember they got scared. One of them got scared, and Jesus was like, you got little faith. Like, what you stop for? What you get scared for? Like, that's how I felt, man. I felt like God was probably looking at me like, didn't I tell you was gonna be fine? I'm like, yeah, I heard you, but I also heard him too. And it was confusing, and they was trying to scare me, and I was like in a state of fear, and I was trying to calm down. Like, God, I'm sorry, but yeah, I did hear you, but I heard other stuff too. And I was confused. Like, whew, that's why you really got to calm down and decipher. You got to, talk to God. You got to get your confirmations from him. You really got to be clear, like, and he will make it clear. And he did. God made it very clear to me what was going on. But anyway, yeah, that guy was trying to slow me down. He was trying to distract me. I remember like things that would kind of be like common sense, or like most people would get. For some reason, I wouldn't catch on to certain stuff. Like, certain stuff would just go over my head, or I wouldn't grasp it. But I've always been like a 4.0 student. I'm very intelligent. I'm very smart. But then certain things like street smarts or certain common senses that most people would have, it's like, I feel you, Kanye, when you said you was on the spectrum, because I'm like, am I on the spectrum? Because I'm real intelligent in certain things, and then other things I'm like, I'm so innocent to it, and it's just be flying over my head. I don't be getting it. Like, certain street smart things, like, by this age you would think that I would get certain things. Certain things I just don't be catching on, and I don't know, maybe God made it that way for me to not be able to he made my brain that way to not be able to catch on to certain things. But anyway, at one point I was spiritually blinded, but that was a long time ago. God gave me new eyes, and he keeps on giving me new eyes, keeps on adding on more immunity to be able to see things better and deeper for what they really are. And I'm thankful and grateful for the ability to see things on a deeper scale. But sometimes when certain truths are revealed, it's like that cognitive dissonance. I gotta sit back and be like, hold on, is this for real right now? Like, what am I, like, for real? Like, and I gotta process things, right? And I'm just saying all this that to say that I can see clearly now. I can see. And this guy, Lucifer, was trying to really get me in my thoughts and be in a state of fear and like lose my mind for a second. Like I really did feel like I was losing my mind for a second. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like I felt like I had went crazy. Like um I was on my knees crying. I was like begging God, like, please don't, please. And then when I talked to my person who brought me back down to earth, she was like, yo, you got work to do and you need your eyes. So why would God even do that to you? She's like, I don't feel the Holy Spirit telling me that you're going to lose your eyesight. Um, she just was saying all the right things to nurture my spirit, and I believed her when she prayed over me and told me that I was going to go to the doctor when I got back home, because this was the day before I was supposed to leave. So the next day I had already made an appointment to go see the doctor, like as soon as I got back home. I spoke to one doctor that was like my old doctor from where I used to live, and he was like, you can't get back on the plane. The pressure may end up making you lose your eyesight and da da da. And that scared me even more. Like between him, Google, and YouTube, I was scared. Okay. I had self-diagnosed myself, and on top of that, all the things that I had been seeing that week that kept highlighting the theme of going blind. Oh my gosh, all that stuff coupled together, it just had me totally scared. I was like, God, have you been trying to warn me? Have you been trying to tell me before it happens? Like I just totally lost it, right? But it was confirmed to me that Lucifer was trying to blind me from some things, which it didn't work, because I was able to see right through him. Like, yeah, the little fear tactic worked for like that little 3 hour span. You know what I'm saying? I say I was scared for about a good 3 hours. Like I had to calm my spirit down. But once I calmed down and I was back in my seat, sitting back, like looking at my thoughts as a bystander, I was like, yo, this guy is crazy. Like, you really tried to ruin my trip. Like, I realized he really tried to ruin my vacation. Like, he does come to kill and destroy and steal. He tried to steal my joy. I was so happy because I was doing good. I still am doing good. But at that time, I was like high off of God. I was on fire. Like I'm still am, but I'm just saying, like at that particular moment, me and God were working on something together, and I was doing so good. I was doing so good, and the devil knew that, and that's why he came in and tried to blind me, like spiritually blind me, like wanted me to be blind. Like he tried to like put me in a state of fear, like. But I'm glad that it happened, because it helped me to decipher. I have another notch on my belt of being able to determine the difference between God's voice and Lucifer's voice. He doesn't understand. Every time that he does something like this to me, it's just me gaining immunity to see how he operates, to see how he works. Now I'm getting more and more experience under my belt to be able to decipher who you are and when you're coming and when you're attacking and what you're doing. You're just putting me on game. That's what he's doing. He's just putting me on game about him and how he operates. So that's why I'm like, whatever. Like, thanks for teaching me a lesson. Yeah, you had me scared. For them little 3 hours, you had me scared. But thank God for prayer, and thank God for my angels. And I went to the doctor the next day, the eye doctor, and of course, everything that I thought was completely wrong. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. Eyes are perfectly healthy. Eyeballs perfectly healthy. Eyesight good to go. So that's why I'm like, he tried it, but I hit him with that spiritual curveball when me and my girl got together, and she prayed over me, my elder. She's an elder. She's my girl too, but she's my elder. And after going to the doctor and getting that confirmation from the doctor, I really was just like, and I'm just like, when it's too much confusion, you really, really got to figure out a way to calm your spirit. That's why I made that video about calling your prayer family, because sometimes you can't. In this case, I could not calm my own self down. Like, usually I have things I can do to calm my own spirit. I don't have to call anybody, but I had to make that phone call. Like, I could not calm my own self down. Like, I want to share the scripture with you guys, okay? wait, let me finish my point first with the confusion thing, because I want you guys to, I want to give you some pointers how to know like when it's an evil force trying to scare you. It will be a lot of confusion, and you cannot like, your thoughts is like monkey brain, like you can't, you just, monkey bars or whatever they call it, I don't know, but you like jumping from thought to thought, like you can't think straight. um and when it's that much fear, anybody would be fearful of, knowing that they're thinking that they're going blind or whatever, but like it was too abrupt. Like, and then it's like, look at the setting. I'm on vacation. You could have did this a couple days ago when I wasn't on vacation. You could have waited until tomorrow when I got back home. You specifically did that to me while I was on vacation to distract me from having a good time, to distract me, because all I was doing, I'm on vacation. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm in the pool. I got my headphones on. I'm reading my Bible, listening to my Bible all throughout the day. That's all I'm doing. Listening to like biblical stuff, like I like to learn. So he knew what I was doing. He knew how good I felt in like just being happy that I just graduated and had this guy just waited. He just knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So he's very methodical. I can say I was trying to figure out like, is God showing me all these themes of all this stuff about people going blind, or is the devil showing me these things to kind of build his case to get me scared on the vacation? And that's what I felt like he did. He like was showing me stuff for